Seoul, South Korea. What happens when the youngest member of one of the world's most influential music groups faces adversity in one of the most structured environments imaginable? The shocking revelations surrounding BTS member Jungkook's alleged mistreatment during his mandatory military service have sent waves of outrage across the globe. And now fellow band member Kim Taehyung, known as V, has publicly broken his silence in an emotionally charged plea for justice, shining a spotlight on an issue that goes far beyond one individual. But why has this situation spiraled into such a significant controversy? Who is responsible, and why hasn't there been swift action to address the problem? These questions hang heavy in the air as new details emerge, painting a troubling picture of power dynamics, neglect, and the unyielding determination of those who demand accountability. It all began with whispers, murmurs among fans and insiders that Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, was struggling in his role as an enlisted soldier. While South Korea's mandatory military service is a rite of passage for all able-bodied men, it is also a notoriously hierarchical institution. Reports began to surface suggesting that Jungkook had become the target of bullying by a senior officer, a man described by sources as being in a position of considerable influence within the camp. While bullying in the military is not an unheard-of issue in South Korea, the notion that it could happen to someone as globally celebrated and cherished as Jungkook struck a raw nerve. Fans and concerned citizens alike were horrified, not just by the nature of the allegations but by the apparent lack of urgency in addressing them. The question on everyone's lips was, why hasn't this been resolved? Taehyung, often seen as the more reserved and introspective member of BTS, has long been admired for his calm demeanor and thoughtful words. But this time, his response was anything but reserved. In a rare and impassioned statement shared on social media, Taehyung expressed his outrage over the situation, calling for immediate and uncompromising action. No one, not even someone in a position of authority, has the right to mistreat others. This is not just about Jungkook. This is about every soldier who has ever suffered in silence, he wrote. I urge the military to investigate this matter thoroughly and ensure that justice is served, regardless of rank or status. Taehyung's words resonated deeply with fans, many of whom have taken to social media to express their support for him and Jungkook. The hashtags #JusticeForJungkook and #WeStandWithTaehyung began trending worldwide within hours, amplifying the call for accountability. What makes this case even more alarming is the power dynamic at play. The alleged perpetrator, described as a senior officer of high rank, is said to wield significant influence within the camp. This has reportedly created an atmosphere of fear and reluctance among witnesses and other soldiers, complicating efforts to gather evidence and take action. Furthermore, critics argue that the military's hierarchical culture often allows such behavior to go unchecked. Younger soldiers are expected to respect and obey their seniors without question, creating a fertile ground for abuse of power. For many, Jungkook's case has become a painful reminder of the systemic issues that persist within South Korea's military. In response to the escalating outcry, BTS's agency, HYB, issued a statement urging the military to conduct a thorough investigation. We are deeply concerned about the reports involving Jungkook. As his agency, we are in contact with the relevant authorities and are closely monitoring the situation. We trust that the military will handle this matter with the seriousness it deserves. The statement read, HYB's involvement has added a new layer of pressure on the military to act swiftly and transparently. The agency's track record of advocating for its artists' well-being has earned it widespread respect, and fans are hopeful that its intervention will make a difference. While the focus remains on Jungkook, his situation has brought renewed attention to the broader issue of bullying in South Korea's military. Reports of hazing, abuse, and even suicides have plagued the system for years, prompting calls for reform. Yet, progress has been slow, and many believe that cases like Jungkook's highlight the urgent need for change. This isn't just about one person, it's about an entire culture that needs to be re-examined, said Kim Ji-yoon, a human rights activist who has long advocated for military reform. The fact that this is happening to someone as high-profile as Jungkook shows that no one is immune. If anything, it underscores how pervasive the problem is. The BTS Army, known for its unparalleled loyalty and activism, has mobilized in full force to demand justice for Jungkook. From organizing online petitions to flooding government hotlines with calls for action, fans are making it clear that they will not rest until the matter is resolved. Jungkook has given so much to the world through his music and his kindness. The least we can do is stand by him in his time of need, said one fan on Twitter. The ARMY's efforts have not gone unnoticed. Politicians, celebrities, and public figures have begun to weigh in on the controversy, adding to the mounting pressure on the military to act decisively as the investigation continues. All eyes are on the military to see how it will handle the case. Will the alleged perpetrator be held accountable, or will the culture of silence and deference prevail? And what role will Taehyung and the rest of BTS play in ensuring that justice is served? This is not a news that will fade away quietly. With millions of fans and advocates watching closely, the stakes have never been higher. Taehyung's unwavering support for Jungkook and his call for justice have struck a chord not only with fans but with anyone who believes in the importance of fairness and accountability. For now, the world waits. But as the saying goes, the truth always comes to light. And when it does, it's clear that the BTS members and their devoted fans will be ready to stand tall, no matter what challenges lie ahead as the days go by. The global impact of this controversy continues to expand. Activists, journalists, and even politicians outside South Korea have begun weighing in, emphasizing the need for institutional reforms that could prevent similar cases from arising in the future. Human rights organizations have taken note, framing this as a larger issue of power abuse in military systems worldwide. Public forums and debates on South Korean television have also picked up the case, with experts discussing the systemic challenges that young soldiers face. Many argue that Jungkook's case should serve as a catalyst for change, turning a painful personal experience into a watershed moment for reform. Meanwhile, Taehyung has continued to use his platform to voice his concerns, posting updates and words of encouragement to fans. His resolute tone has inspired not just ARMY members, but also a broader audience of advocates for justice. It's clear that Taehyung views this as more than just an isolated incident. It's a fight for the fair treatment of everyone in similar situations. The BTS members have always maintained a close brotherhood, and this case has only highlighted the strength of their bond. Taehyung's active involvement has shown fans and the public alike the importance of standing up for loved ones, no matter the cost. His actions remind us that when people with influence take a stand, the ripple effects can lead to meaningful change. Fans, too, have stepped up their activism. Online campaigns have now transitioned into real-world movements, with protest signs appearing in Seoul's bustling streets, demanding transparency and accountability. The ARMY has also raised funds to support independent investigations into bullying within military institutions, proving that their dedication goes beyond hashtags and tweets. The question remains, will this be a turning point for South Korea's military culture? Only time will tell, but with voices as powerful as Taehyung's and Jungkook's leading the charge, the possibility for change feels more tangible than ever before.